All right, fifth graders, today we're going to continue with chapter 2. Yesterday you wrote in chapter 1, and for most of you that meant you were talking mostly about the early life of your civil rights leader. Today, as we continue, we're starting to think about some of the big events that caused change and what was their reason or motivation for that change. So if we go ahead and look, we're going to go into the civil rights module, into chapter 2. In this assignment, I first included a little video with a few suggestions about quoting and paraphrasing and summarizing. Make sure to continue working on using your own words in your writing unless you are quoting. You're going to watch a video, which is this video now, with some more ideas. And these are the things that you really want to focus on in chapter 2. Transition, some sort of transition from the first chapter. Make sure you continue to define key terms and that you have at least one paragraph, 5 or more sentences, and you might decide that you need more than one paragraph in order to include this information. Again, making sure that you use your own words and aren't just copying sentences and phrases from your research. So if we go ahead and look in chapter 1, we were talking about a happy childhood of Ruby Bridges. And I finished the section. Segregation was beginning to end, though. So in 1960, Ruby took a test to see if she could begin attending a school that had been for white children only. She passed the test. So going on to chapter 2, I knew I needed to start that chapter with some sort of transition sentence from the last chapter. So I said, as a result of Ruby's great test scores, her parents decided to send Ruby to William Frantz Elementary, a school that had just become desegregated. So there's one of those words, desegregated. I'm going to bold that, and just as a reminder to come back to it, I might need to add another text feature to explain what that means. And if I look at my notes, I have a section here about Brown versus the Board of Education. This is the court case that actually said that segregated schools were wrong and that the segregated schools in the country needed to change. And I write a little bit about that in my next sentence. This happened because of the 1951 court case, Brown versus Board of Education. Segregated schools around the country were forced to change. Ruby's parents knew that she would have more opportunities and a better education if she attended this new school. And so I'm really thinking about that motivation or reasons for the change. Ruby could have stayed at the school that she was going to, but her parents wanted more for her. They were poor, working lots of different jobs, and so they knew if she had a better education, she would have more opportunities for better jobs for herself. So that's one of those key ideas that you need to make sure you're including in this next section. And then I continued on. I wrote about some more of the details. I had notes about some of the details about what happened to her when she attended the new school. So you need to think about what were the most important ideas that you wrote down in your notes and how you can include them in your chapter. When I go back and add some more text features, I think I'm going to add actually a whole nother page on Brown versus Board of Education. I'll probably put it in between chapters 1 and chapter 2 that has some bullet points, maybe a picture or two that describes a little bit more about Brown versus Board of Education, because that is a huge event that happened in order for Ruby Bridges to be able to attend this other school. So I'm keeping in mind some of those other text features that I want to use. All right, go ahead and give this a try with your own research.